Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever episode of Par 71 with Matt LaSerre, presented by Tunnel Vision Sports. Very excited to get this rolling. It's been in the works for a few weeks now. Thank you to Tunnel Vision Sports for giving me this podcast. And just to start off, I'm going to give you some background on myself. It'll help you understand the way I think about things and the players I bring up. So first off, I'm Matt LaSerre. Obviously, I'm your host. And I grew up in Dallas, Texas. So if you hear me talking about the Dallas guys like Jordan Spieth, Scottie Scheffler, Will Zalatoris, that's why I always like to support people from home. And I'm a huge Florida State fan. So if you hear me talking about Brooks Koepka, Daniel Berger, that's why obviously those are the people I follow, people I love to follow. And I love to see them win. Those are people who I root for the most part. So if you hear me talking about them a lot, that's why. They're my favorite players on tour. They're the people I like to watch. Outside of that, the way this is mainly going to go, and it's going to be a little awkward to start off first because I've never done this before, and it's a brand new experience for me. I'm excited for it. But the way we're going to normally do it is on Sunday, I will record this, and I'm going to do initial reaction to whatever tournament that was. This week, we get the privilege to cover the Masters, which was great within itself. It always is and always will be. And after that, we'll go into previewing the next week tournament, which this time will be the RBC Heritage at Harbor Town Links up in South Carolina. And after that, we'll do anything else golf related. This is where I would like to get some fan interaction with you guys. You know, when you guys listen, tweet at me, Instagram message me, anything like that, or contact, somehow comment, like whatever, however you had to get in contact. Send me funny golf videos you have. Send me anything you want to hear on the podcast about golf, and I will talk about it. It's just that third one is more up to you guys or anything I can find that's just surprising in the golf world or something different. Maybe sometimes you go to college golf, high school golf, anything. You even look at recruiting for golf in college, which is something that is kind of overlooked, and I want to bring more to the forefront and let people look at it. But obviously today, our first topic is the Masters. And the Masters every year is great. No matter if it's a blowout, runaway, it's always a great thing to watch. It is the premier golf event. It's the first major of the year. It's the one everyone waits for. It's always great. Augusta National is great. I've never gotten the privilege to go. I know a lot of people who have. That's how I got that hat back there, if you can see it. My coach actually gave that to me a few years ago. But yeah, it's always great. Augusta is just a great place, majestic, beautiful, all the words you can think of. And like always, it's at the forefront of golf this week. There's nothing else. It's all over everywhere. Had to compete with baseball's opening day this year, but I think Augusta still takes the crown of the talk of the town or the talk of the country this week. Obviously, the biggest story of it was Scottie Scheffler, the winner. Congratulations to him. As I said, one of my Dallas boys. And I'm excited to see that win. Personally, he was one of my picks to win it. I didn't really say that. Didn't really put that in any articles, but he was one of the three people I had. I had Tommy Fleetwood, Jordan Spieth, and Scottie Scheffler. I did pretty well for myself, actually. Tommy Fleetwood, I believe, finished top 20. I can double check that. And obviously, Scottie Scheffler won the whole thing. The only one I missed on was Jordan. Obviously, missed the cut. It doesn't happen for him normally at the Masters, though. He normally does a fairly good job. He tied second last year. He's tied second before in his first ever appearance. Second ever appearance, won it in 2015. And then tied second the next year when we all know the collapse on 12 and Danny Willett won. But anyway, it's all about Scottie Scheffler this time. He really dominated this tournament. It wasn't even close in general. Coming down the stretch, walking up the 18th fairway, he was 5 strokes above the field. And Rory Mcilroy, who we'll get into later, who had a great round today. But Scottie Scheffler obviously stole the show. So he took the lead after Friday, the halfway point, and he just never looked back. It was, I believe, a 5-stroke lead at that point too. And he has just been playing amazing golf. This is his 4th career win, and his first one came in February. So that's one of the quickest rise to fame in the tour we've seen. Actually, it is the quickest rise we've ever seen. He's already world number 1. And that was only 2 weeks ago. This was actually his first ever start in a tournament as world number 1. And that doesn't happen that much. It only happened one other time in Masters history. And it's just a great thing to watch. It's great for the sport of golf. One thing I like to say about Scottie Scheffler that I've been noticing through press conferences, interviews, he's a very personable guy. Like, it's someone we can all relate to. Someone we'll all really like because of that. Because what we like to think of sports people, or people in sports, figures, athletes, is, first of all, yes, they're good. That's what gets them famous, is their play. No matter what sport it is, baseball, basketball, football, their play is what gets them to the top, what gets them famous. Second of all, is we want to know these guys are good guys, right? Like, we've seen people who the crowd doesn't like, and they either get attention from that or they don't get anything at all, even if they win. Like Patrick Reed, for example, after he was accused of cheating, even though he's won the Masters and he was Captain America at the Ryder Cup, nobody really likes him. He's not as personable as these other guys. And that's what makes Scottie Scheffler so great to me, is that he just seems like a normal person. I mean, listen to his interviews. He talks about board games. People ask him questions about The Office or like what shows he watched. Like, he's a cool guy to talk to. I think he'd be a great guy to ever have an interview with. I think it's fun to bounce back and forth because he really just seems like a normal guy. And obviously now, with the way he's been playing this year, that's all going to change. 4 wins in the last 8 weeks of the PGA Tour. Now, he hasn't played in all those events, but the last 8 events on PGA Tour, out of those, he has won 4 of them. And those have been his first 4 wins. And he's world number 1. Name a better or quicker rise to fame. Just try, you won't find it anywhere. Now, for his round today, obviously he's been playing well all week, but what has stole the show for him over the week in general was his short game. He didn't really drive the ball well. In fact, he only hit 68% of fairways throughout the whole tournament. And his worst driving round was the final round today. Or on Sunday. I guess this will be going out later. So on Sunday, he drove the ball the worst he did all week. He only hit 61.11% of fairways in regulation, and his chipping really made up for it. And his iron play. There was a lot of times that we saw him in the Pine Straw or saw him in a bad spot, and he was just able to shape his shot, get out of it easy. It didn't even look hard. I mean, to us, none of us can do that. But it just is amazing to watch how he's able to get out of these situations. Like the best hole that he did this on was hole 3. Hole 3, he was in the Pine Straw on the left. He had to take a relief drop, which in the moment I was confused about. I thought he was just taking a drop. I'm not really sure what he was taking relief from. I guess I couldn't hear my TV at the time or something, whatever. But he took a drop. Cam Smith also kind of left. His shot kind of looked like it was a little tight. And he hits it, but it goes down. He hits right in front of the green on 3, and it goes down all the way down the slope. Cam Smith then goes ahead and does pretty much the same exact thing. Their balls were literally right next to each other, 1-1, like right there. And he plays, I'd said it before he hit the shot. I was like, all right, he needs to hit a bump and run here right into the hill. Just let it run up on the green and get it close. At this point, Cam Smith had made a charge after 2 birdies on the first 2 holes. So he was his 5-stroke lead at one point on Friday had gone down to 1. And it looked like Cam Smith, who's also been playing well on the year after Scottie Scheffler, is Cam Smith, hottest player on tour after Scottie Scheffler. It's not even close. And he did the bump and run, and it went straight in. And this is where it all just clicked. And I think this is where we all realized it's his to win. They're going into round 4. I was like, all right, Cam Smith can make a comeback here. We've seen him do it before. He loves to make birdies and streaks. He just loves to go at it. Me and my roommate, we joked about how Cam Smith hates to make par. Literally, first 4 holes, he went birdie, birdie, bogey, bogey. He can make birdies. He can make moves. We didn't know what was going to happen. And after being on the third tee, it was only a 1-stroke game or 1-stroke round. whatever we want to call it. And it looked like this is going to come down the wire. This is going to be great. But right there, when Cam Smith bogeyed, having the same exact chip as Scheffler, and Scheffler made the chip, pulls it, birdie, bogey, 2-stroke swing, we're right back to 3-stroke lead where he started at the beginning of the round. And it just seemed right there that Scheffler wasn't going to choke. It wasn't going to be, we've seen it happen. Rory's done it before. Everyone has seen this. There's someone young at the top of the leaderboard of a major. Can they hang on? That's a lot of pressure. No one's, obviously you and me and you guys listening to this, we don't know that pressure, but obviously that's a new thing for anyone young on tour to be leading by that much at a major. How can you handle the pressure? Right there, when Scottie Scheffler made that chip, I think is when it all clicked that we knew he was going to be good. We knew it was his to lose. He controlled his destiny at this point. It wasn't going to be about Cam Smith coming back. It was, he probably just has to shoot 1 or 2 under par, and he will win this tournament. It was great to watch. And even other than chipping, he also averaged the lowest amount of putts per green in regulation out of the whole tournament. Today or on Sunday, he averaged 1.86 putts per green in regulation. Saturday, 1.8. Friday, 1.44. And on Thursday, the first round, 1.61. He crushed the field in putting per green in regulation. Again, his short game is what really made the Masters. It's really what got him this lead because his driving, again, was not great. 68% overall fairways. He wasn't super accurate. 68 is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's honestly probably fairly average around there, but to his final round being his worst driving round, being able to save that is what made the round for him. And also, outside of driving into left, right, and not being consistently in the fairway, he did a good job staying out of trouble with his irons, as I said before. Overall on the week, he only hit into a bunker 4 times. 4. And, I mean, staying out of that, we've seen you can get into trouble anyway, and just staying out of that trouble is a great thing. It makes it so much easier to play golf when you're playing out of the grass, obviously. Even if it's rough, you'd rather be in the grass than be in the sand. And also something interesting about those 4 times is they all came in the first 2 rounds. On the weekend, Scheffler did not take a trip to the beach at all. So I don't even know what to say. It was great golf played by him. I'm really wondering if he can get the driver going, what's going to happen. Because if he can get that driver going with the same iron play we see out of the pine straw, we see out of the rough, he's going to be unstoppable. He's going to be hitting darts and making even more birdies and winning even more than he is already. And keep in mind, he's won 4 of the last 8 weeks on tour. That's not even all. That's more tournaments than he's even played in, and he's won half of them. Like, it's just an amazing run. The real last time I can remember someone going on a run like this on tour was Jordan back in 2015, and it was nowhere this early in the season. He won, I forget exactly what tournaments he won, but I'm included in that. He won five tournaments that year. Ended up, I think he made $22 million on the year from winning, and 2 of those tournaments was the Masters and the U.S. Open. So the last person to win those 2 straight was him. The other person to win 2 Masters straight was Brooks Koepka. And I don't know. I think Scottie Scheffler would be the next person to do it. And I do think he's the best. He's the next big thing on tour. Him and Cam Smith, I don't want to say a rivalry forming, because in golf we don't get too many rivalries. It's very friendly how everyone plays with each other. But I could see Cam Smith v. Scottie Scheffler happening a lot in the coming years. Obviously, we still want to see Jordan. We still want to see Morikawa. We still want to see Rory do great. But these new people on tour who are coming up, who have been there for a little bit, but we haven't really seen them, and now they're just coming and they're just starting to win, and they're starting to learn how to win. They're starting to learn how to play in contention in big tournaments. It's fun to watch. It's always fun to see something new. And I really think these 2 guys are going to be the next big big things in the sport. They're going to butt heads a lot. We've already seen it happen. We saw it happen today Sunday at the Masters final round when it was really them. It was going into it. It was a 2-man race, 2-horse race. It didn't seem like anyone else had a chance to win other than Scottie Scheffler, who was already in the lead by 3 strokes going into the final round, and Cam Smith, because we know he can come back. We know he has that power. We know he can play like that. So I can see this happening again and again. Next up, the PGA Championship next month, and hopefully you see them both again. I can't see another reason why Scottie Scheffler can't keep playing well. And again, if he gets that driver ready, if he gets that driver straighter, a lot straighter than it was today or Sunday, it wasn't. God, he's going to be unstoppable. He really is. Just sit back and watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, another thing that happened today at the Masters was Rory Mcilroy having one of the best final rounds in Masters history. He shot a 7 under 64, and he just played amazing. He had a hole out. He chipped in on 10, and then the best part, and honestly, in my opinion, it was probably the best highlight of the round, was him and Colin Morikawa chipping in from the same bunker minutes apart. They were playing together. Obviously, that's a marquee group. You got two multi-major champions, and man, was the firepower out in that group. It was lights out all day for both of them. They're feeding off each other. It was really great to watch, even though neither of them really had a chance to win. Rory, I feel like Rory any other year where someone's not running away with it like Scheffler did, Rory is either 1 stroke back or he's in the lead. And by in the lead, I mean by multiple strokes at that point. And he's never won a Masters, so it's kind of disappointing to see him do it too little too late. But it's one day. One day Rory will get his Masters win. He will finish the career Grand Slam. It's kind of been out there. He's been in the lead before going down Sunday. One day it will happen. He's one of the golfing greats, and I really hope he gets it, unless we're going to end up talking like Phil Mickelson in the U.S. Open, where he's had don't even know how many second places, but have never gotten it. I do think that today we saw Rory just go out there with no real expectations and just play golf and have fun. He even said it himself that was the happiest and most fun he's ever had on the golf course you'll ever see him. And he didn't even win. You don't need to win, have fun. I think he came out with no expectations to start the day and just played one of the best rounds of his life. It's great to watch. Great to watch. And we haven't seen – Rory's played well recently, but we haven't seen him at the top of the leaderboard that much anymore. So it's cool to see him come back. It really is. I like Rory. Cool. He seems like a cool guy when we hear from him. He can hit the long ball. He's a great golfer to watch, and he's fun to watch. Everyone loves someone who's fun to watch, who makes it fun, who interacts with the crowd. Rory interacts with the crowd. I mean, if you look at when he hit the bunker shot, on 18, right before Colin hit his, he was hyped up. He threw his club just like Jordan did at the Travelers to win that one time. And, man, it was just a sight to see. I honestly wish he would have been in the lead or something like that to where it really meant something more in the tournament, because that would have gone down as one of the greatest Masters moments of all time if it was. And I feel like it's sad, but I feel like in general it'll get overlooked a little bit just because it wasn't for a lead or it wasn't really for something big at that point. I mean, back 9 of Augusta on Sunday is always big, but when something like that's not for the win, it's kind of hard to remember it a little bit. Everyone remembers the Tiger chip because he's in contention. He won that one on 16. Or all the marquee moments that we remember from the Masters is normally from someone who either goes on to collapse and lose or someone who wins the tournament in amazing fashion. And because this falls under neither of those categories, I don't know if it'll be like a shot to remember, shot in the history books. But it really should be. It's a shame that it probably won't. It was just fun to watch, really. See him go in, oh, wow, damn. what a shot. And then Morikawa comes back and does it. And from the same bunker, hits a completely different shot, but still makes it. And it was just, I mean, imagine following that up, being the group behind them. That's hard to do. Third thing from the Masters that obviously we have to talk about with golf. One person always associated with pro golf will always be associated with pro golf when you're talking about it with your buddies or random person is Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger, obviously, he didn't play well over the weekend. He went 78-78 back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. But I think that's not the important thing from Tiger playing this week. The important thing is that he was able to actually come back. When he got in the car accident over a year ago now, I think it was 14 months ago, we didn't even know if he was going to play again. We didn't even know if he was going to be alive. And he said, from what he's told us, and he's actually been very open about his recovery from the car accident, he thought at one point one of his legs might get amputated. So it is just great to see him back on the golf course and playing. And I think everyone will agree with me on that. And I even said it in one of my articles earlier this week, the Masters Preview article. I think Stephen A. Smith said it the best on First Take earlier this week when we realized, wait, Tiger might actually play. Because going into the week, until the week before, we thought it was, we don't know. He's probably not going to. It's not getting our hopes up. But when he actually came out and was going to play, he had no golf expectations. And this is what Stephen A. Smith was saying too. This is the first time we have seen this with Tiger Woods, is that there's no expectations on how he's going to play. And how, he can just go out and have fun. We're just happy to see him. There's no analyzing the swing as much. There's no pressure. It's, wow, we get to see Tiger Woods actually play again. That is amazing. That is great. And for golf as a sport, there's nothing better than the hype that Tiger brings to the tournament. Now, some people might say, well, it makes all the storylines about Tiger. It's only Tiger when he's not even winning and doing that. But the attention he brings to the sport, nobody else can do. If you want golf to grow and you want golf to reach higher viewing levels, you want them to reach the younger audiences, you need Tiger there. Tiger brings everybody in. It's not the normal people who watch golf. It brings the whole country will tune into the Masters just to watch Tiger. And something interesting that I thought was the way the final round was set up. It's not even on purpose at this point, just the way the tee times ended up with the leaderboard and all that. Tiger was finishing 18, I think he was on the 17 tee box or green, when the leaders were teeing off. From a TV standpoint, you can't get much better than that, because now you have Tiger finishing. He can finish 18. So you get a standing ovation that he's back. And then you see, the leaders are teeing off, so these people can stay tuned in. So again, from a golf standpoint of making the sport grow, getting more people to watch, getting more people to go play, that's the attention Tiger brings. It's great for the sport. And, I mean, Masters always brings more attention, but Tiger in the Masters now, when we didn't know if he was coming back, injuries, back, legs, just to watch him play just him playing will bring so much more people to the sport. It's unreal. Now, again, people who watch sport day in, day out, like me, others, some people will say, oh, well, now it's taking attention away from other people who are actually winning these tournaments. And they know. Yes, did on TV broadcast post around and talk about Tiger? Yes, they have to. It's Tiger. But at the end of the day, his story was still Scottie Scheffler. Tiger didn't steal that thunder. Scottie Scheffler still won. Scottie Scheffler stole his green jacket. He was still the story and everything. It didn't, at the beginning of the round, yes. And honestly, I think some players like it because it takes the attention off them and they don't have as much pressure. So I think it's better for everyone that he's here. And I hope he plays again or keeps playing. I do know he said to Sky Sports after the round that he committed to the British Open in July, which is at St. Andrews. He's won the British Open there before. It's the oldest golf course in the world, first ever golf course. He's always loved that place. He's always played well there. So at least we know we're going to see him then now. But that's the last major. We still have 2 more in between that in May in the PGA Championship and in June with the U.S. Open. So we'll see if he plays in those. I got a feeling that he's not going to play in many small tournaments anymore. I think it's going to be more of a majors thing now, and which is fine. I mean, honestly, I'd rather him do that than not play at all. Want to see Tiger play, and plays on the big stages. It's great for the sport. So, I mean, hopefully we get to see him in the PGA Championship next month and the U.S. Open after that. But we are for sure, at least for now, obviously health reasons can pop up. He can say he's not going to play. But at least for now, he has committed to playing in the British Open. And, again, why not? We love Tiger Woods too much, and he means too much to the sport of golf to him to see him walk away. And even though he didn't play great, I think he was still happy with just being able to finish. I mean, if you were watching that final round, he was in some pain. And he commented earlier that the cold, and everyone who's dealt with back pain knows this, the cold makes it tighten up and it makes your back pain worse. Now, the temperatures at the Masters Saturday, Sunday morning were kind of frigid. They were kind of cold. So it was interesting. It was going to be interesting to see if Tiger was still going to be able to play or keep playing, if he was going to withdraw, whatever happened. And he made it. And in that final round, walking up 18, he looked like he was in pain. He was kind of hunched over a little bit, trying to get up that hill. But the smile on his face afterwards said, I'm just happy I got to do all 4 rounds. He didn't, himself in the post-round interview even said a month ago he didn't know if he'd be able to do that. So it's cool to see him. That's a true comeback, win or lose. He's playing again. And that's just great for everyone to see. Even after the round, I have here, he said it was an unbelievable feeling just to finish. Not win, just to finish and just to play. And he thought it was positive. Clearly, he had a great time being back competing. And I think I speak on behalf of everyone. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. We're all happy to see him back. And could not be happier. We hope to see him more soon. I don't think we'll see him until at least the PGA Championship. I doubt we'll see him before then just because I don't think he can walk 4 rounds in a week or more. In like a week or over the practice runs and everything. I don't think he can physically walk 4 18-hole rounds every week. I think that would make it worse for him. But again, hopefully we at least see him in the majors. And that's fine by me. So the last thing we're going to talk about here on the first episode of Par 71, presented by Tunnel Vision Sports, is previewing the RBC Heritage at Harbour Town Links. And this is traditionally, it's always the week after the Masters. And because of that, it kind of doesn't really get a strong field for such a nice course like Harbour Town is. And the lighthouse and everything, it's scenic. It's a great course. It just doesn't get popularity because it's the week after the Masters. These guys have been playing for a few months now, Florida Swing and all that, to prepare for the Masters. So once they get done with the Masters, they kind of like to take a break. And because of that, we don't get a super strong field. But we do still have some notable players playing. Like you got Tommy Fleetwood, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Jim Furyk, and others. Who else is here? Sorry, I'm looking right now. Corey Connors, who have been playing pretty well recently. Wesley Bryan, who's the old trick shot, bounce off your wedge guy. We got on tour Daniel Berger from Florida State. Abe Answer. So you still got some pretty good names in the field. Stuart Sink, who made a hole-in-one and actually has won this tournament, I believe last year. Defending champion. He made a hole-in-one on 16 this week or last week at the Masters. So you still got a pretty good field, but again, you don't really have much of those notable players. One player that I do want to look at that we haven't seen too much of him. His play recently hasn't been great. He didn't even qualify for the Masters this year, and he's one of the notable players on tour, household names everyone knows, is Ricky Fowler. Ricky has not done well recently, to put it in the slightest. It's just, again, he didn't even qualify for the Masters this year. And it'd be nice to see him come back and do well. He played let me double check this real quick. I believe he played in the tournament at TPC San Antonio the week before the Masters and missed the cut. Yes. So he missed the cut because he shot +2 at TPC San Antonio, the AT&T Oaks course. And again, he just really hasn't done well recently. He has one good tournament this year where he finished tied for second. But overall, we haven't seen a lot of Ricky. And we want to see a lot of Ricky because he's one of those great personalities on tour that everyone loves. And again, I think this is a great week with not a super strong field, a great course. I think this is a great week that Ricky can make a comeback. Again, we want to see him up there. He's one of those players that everyone loves to see. He hasn't won a major yet. He's always listed on one of the best players. Up until recently, he's always listed as one of the best players without a major. And I think we would all love to see him come into form. And another notable player that I forgot to mention who's playing is Webb Simpson, who won back in 2020 at Harbortown. And he always plays great at Harbortown. It fits him well. Certain courses always fit certain players. That's why they play in these events year in, year out, because they know they can contend. They know they can play well and have a chance to win. And Webb Simpson, this is one of those places for him. Now, also, one of the biggest stories, not biggest stories, but one of the most notable and feel-good stories out of this tournament coming up is Morgan Hoffman. Morgan Hoffman has not played on tour since 2019, but he has a medical exemption, something like that, medical exemption to where he has 3 tournaments left on that because he actually has muscular dystrophy and he's been dealing with that and he's trying to come back, which is amazing. And because, that'll mess you up. And being able just to play golf is great. And to do it on tour at that level would be even better. It's a great story to hear. He's not really a household name. Not many people know him. But expect to see this story a lot on TV coverage and stuff like that. It's just a very good feel-good story. Someone coming back from having muscular dystrophy. Obviously still has it. It's not something you can get rid of. But to come back from that and still try to play on tour, you got to root for him, right? Want to see that do well. It'd be a great story to see him win or get in contention, just make the cut, do something to where he can qualify more tournaments outside of his medical exemption he is now, would be great. And that would be a story for the ages. It's like on Tiger's level of coming back from that car accident where he thought his leg was going to get amputated. This guy's muscular dystrophy, and he's going to live with it for the rest of his life. But he wants to make the most out of it and play on tour. He's always been there on tour, just not huge. Let me see how many career wins does Morgan Hoffman have? Let's see here. Again, has not been on tour since 2019. Played at Oklahoma State. He's only 32. So he's still got a lot of years left in him. All right, that's interesting. So he actually doesn't have a single PGA Tour victory. So again, would make the story even better if he could get a PGA Tour victory even after being diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. He does have, in his career, looking at the stats now, he has 1 second-place finish, 2 third-place finishes, and 9 top 10s. Again, just it would be a great story. You probably see it everywhere. That's a great one we want to see come back. So this week, I'm personally, without looking at real stats and seeing how people play on this course too much, I would say my 3 people to watch this week, just out of stories and who to look at, who we always want to watch. So number 1, Morgan Hoffman, just a great story. I really hope he does well. It'd be great for the sport. It'd be great to see. Ricky Fowler hasn't been playing well recently. Really want to see that guy make a comeback, like I just said before. He is one of the great personalities we have in golf. You still see him in commercials all the time. He's not the face of Puma golf anymore. I think Bryson DeChambeau has taken that a little bit with how he's playing and his weird science stuff that makes everyone interested in him. And Bryson DeChambeau's also been trying to get popular on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. My opinion, it hasn't really worked for him, but still, I think Bryson DeChambeau's kind of taken that Puma away from him. But Ricky's still in the commercials. He's still there. He still seems more personable than or a better, like a more personal person than Bryson DeChambeau. And it's one of those people that everyone's always rooting for. Though that's one of the people if you go to a golf tournament and you see Ricky Fowler on the list of tee times, you want to go follow Ricky Fowler. That's one of the marquee people you're going to want to see. And after that is Webb Simpson. I think Webb Simpson has done well at Harbour Town in the past, done well at the RBC Heritage, and hopefully he does again. Obviously, he won it in 2020. He's a great golfer. He's not someone you see a whole lot, but he's someone who does win a major time and time again. He's won a few, I believe. I think he won a U.S. Open at one point. And this is his course. From what I've read, that's the minimal stats I've seen at this point. This is his course, and he out of those three, Morgan Hoffman and Ricky Fowler are one of those you want to see him do well, but you don't really know. Webb Simpson is someone who you know is going to do well this week, and you know he's going to be at the top of the leaderboard in contention. If I was a betting man, I would put some on him. Again, great golfer, and he should do well this week. He always does well at Harbour Town, the RBC Heritage. So yeah, and that is all I have today for Par 71 with Matt LaSerre, presented by Tunnel Vision Sports. Thank you guys for listening. I'm excited to get this off the ground and going. Again, don't forget to send me whatever, contact me however, or give my email in the description. However, contact me. Give me some things to talk about. Give me some funny things. Give me some stories about you and your buddies golfing. I really want to, this time since the first one we couldn't really do this, but I really want to get some fan interaction and get it in here. Whether it's your stories, videos, pictures, anything, or a topic you want me to talk about, send it over and we'll talk about it. Again, it's the first one, so haven't really gotten that chance yet. So again, whatever. And also, other than just topics, like, let me know things you guys want to see on this podcast. Obviously, again, I've never done this before. I'm kind of having fun with it. Not really sure where it's going to go. Just trying to have fun and talk about golf because I'd like to do it anyway, so might as well talk to myself and let it be heard out there. So give me maybe who you want to interview, what do you want to see out of the podcast, how you want to see it go about. Right now, obviously, my plan is, like I said, one, instant reaction when I record this on Sundays, instant reaction to the tournament that just happened this week, Masters, obviously, best week of the year. And then second, preview the next tournament, this week's RBC Heritage. And after that, I want to include you guys, give whatever you guys want me to do. So just let me know and have a great day, guys. Thank you for listening.